Senior Spotlight remains one of our most popular video series. A new school year means a new class of seniors to feature. It also means re-evaluating how and when we highlight our outstanding, memorable, talented, and hardworking kids. This series has undergone several changes since we started it, most notably an absence of it during the most challenging parts of the pandemic. This year we're trying something new, shorter, more easily digestible videos, which will hopefully give us more time to feature more seniors than ever before, casting a wider net to tell different kinds of stories. To start with the class of 2023, we meet a student who exemplifies succeeding in the 3 A's: academics, arts, and athletics. This commitment takes time, hard work, and dedication, but to succeed at them all as a senior also requires tremendous leadership, as students like this set an example for all who follow. In this episode of Senior Spotlight, we travel to Roosevelt High School, where one student is using his senior year to explore, have lots of fun, and create a legacy underclassmen will be proud to continue. If you know anything about marching band, you know it's a commitment. There are sectional rehearsals, months of preparation during the hottest time of the summer, long trips to competitions, and practice, practice, practice. Directors, volunteers, assistants, chaperones, and roadies all contribute to make the season work, but student leaders are maybe the most important component to generate discipline, buy-in, and dedication.
This year we have 3 drum majors. 2 are seniors and 1 is a junior, and they're kind of that elevated student leader that we actually elect. We do interviews, a whole process in order to get them selected for that group, and then from there they are in charge of running sectionals. They're in charge of starting and stopping the entire ensemble, keeping the group cohesive, both musically and emotionally. Really, they're kind of like the face of the band, which is really kind of great. Yeah, he's definitely has stepped into his own role. I think he's one of those kids that has a really great outshining personality, and then that leadership just also kind of combined in with that makes him a really good candidate for it. To have students that are like well organized and intrinsically motivated makes my job a lot easier. I really don't have to worry about like micromanaging what they're doing, what they're saying. They just kind of take care of it for me, and they almost get to a point where they read my mind and they know exactly like what's expected of me and what I need from them, so it's nice.
In this fall time, I'm really involved in the marching band, being a drum majoring with Mackenzie Peterson, line of song. Great team right there. We have a lot of good leadership as well. I don't know, just the fact of just like you're spending all of basically August outside with all these people with a common goal of to have that end goal of just an amazing show. Like we say it a lot, like our placements really don't matter with our competitions and stuff. As long as we know that we did our best in that rep, it's kind of like what makes us feel good about ourselves. And it just, I love creating these. I love seeing our show, how people improving as people and as musicians. Music's been such a big part of my life, and so is marching band, so being able to be there and serve my band as well.
Months of long days, dedication before and after practices, and infinite patience and drilling lead to moments like this, at the Pursuit of Excellence in Marshall, Minnesota, where Roosevelt performed their 2022 show.
I was drum major last year. I was lucky enough to get, after I applied, I was lucky enough to get the role. And not only was I like learning like so much about like conducting and like listening throughout the band and stuff, but learning more about myself and how much of a leader I can be and how much people actually look up to the upperclassmen in leadership. It gave me a sense of pride and reward when I was able to help people and they kind of understood it.
But marching band is just one of the bands Brock is involved with at Roosevelt. He's also in the school's top auditioned concert band and in the top jazz band.
So the expectation of somebody like Brock in one of those top performing ensembles is that he's kind of a silent leader. I mean, we don't have designated section leaders per se. Everybody's kind of on their own individual part, so he has to kind of lead by example, which I think he really excels at throughout all of those things.
Music stuff I started back in 5th grade of elementary school. Seeing my middle brother do band for just 1 year, music really wasn't for him. But as soon as I picked up a saxophone and started playing on it, I kind of knew like this is for me, and I obviously started out as like everybody else, just learning how to make sound on the horn. And then eventually, as I kept growing this love for music and stuff, I've eventually evolved into choir as well. Choir, just kind of like finding my voice and finding I have a lot of friends that have helped me out and pushed me to be my best self in choir. It's just a big part of my life, and it's kind of like the main reason why I keep coming to high school as well, is just having those music classes, having the rehearsals after school. It's just it's the things I look forward to in my week.
Brock is in his 4th year of choir at Roosevelt. He's been involved right away since his freshman year, just came in gung-ho, energetic, and has participated in choir and show choir every year that he's been here. It's been really fun to watch Brock over the past year, I would say, as everybody struggled with the pandemic and all of that, but I feel like somewhere from his junior year to his senior year, I really saw him find and fine-tune that leadership quality in him. And it's like over the summer before his senior year, he came back the same Brock, but with a maturity and an ease to his leadership that I've never seen, and I'm so proud of him for honing that in. I want them to be the role models to the underclassmen, showing what hard work it has taken for them to build what the underclassmen are coming in and joining and being a part of, and to show that in a way that they're having so much fun reaping the harvest of their hard work, and feeling that reward of the hard work over the 4 years, but also giving them kind of a discipline and a work ethic that the underclassmen can hang on to as they then carry forward. I really want the seniors to show the underclassmen that it's just not about you in this given year, but collectively over the 4 years, we're building a legacy that you're a part of.
More of the winter time is when show choir is in really big effect. We start again, kind of in July, August, with rehearsals and learning our choreography, and being a part of that for the show choir department in general for about 4 years. It's another thing of you're putting in so much hard work for that common end goal. Obviously, a grand champion, caption awards and stuff is great, but at the same time, I'm doing it with all of my friends, and we're out there just to have fun, have a good time, and put on a show for our audience.
Fall keeps him booked with marching band, winter with show choir. This spring, it will be on Roosevelt's tennis team.
Springtime involved in boys tennis. Been in it for since my 7th grade year, since I've been able to. I've had 2 brothers go through the program, and kind of watching them play at the high level was kind of a big inspiration for me to keep going. And being able to be on varsity for the past 3 years has been a kind of a big accomplishment for me, knowing how much I've improved, how much I can improve, and it's just a thing that I love doing. Being kind of a competitive person as well, winning's a big thing for me.
So I know that Brock is involved in a bunch of stuff. I know he's kind of a fine arts kid through and through, but I know he's also in tennis, which is really kind of neat to see those two worlds combined together. And I think he's pretty high achieving academically too. So I mean, the word well-rounded is probably one of the best ways to describe who Brock is.
Throughout all of those seasons are concert choir, symphonic band, and jazz band commitments, ensembles, and a full load of classes, which include things like AP Statistics and Teacher Pathway. Managing all of that takes focus, organization, and let's face it, some understanding from directors and teachers as well.
They very much have a mindset of they want to be here. They want to be with the kids and helping the kids. Like with my directors, like music directors, they put so much hard work into what we do and how hard we work and how much they want to push us because they know how good we can be. Just having that sense of security with them there's never a stupid question, there's never a dumb question with them, and they want to see you go far. And not only are they teaching us, like obviously our subjects and our music and stuff, but they're teaching us like life lessons and how to pay forward the kindness and gratitude that we're getting so we can pass it on to our friends and even the people coming up to Roosevelt.
The whole mission of the school district is to prepare the students for tomorrow's world, right? And I think unless the students have the opportunity to excel or to discover their gifts through trying everything, they're never going to quite know what that is. And so I think Roosevelt has a community of adults who is seeing the students as a whole human being and honoring them for all of their gifts and talents and everything that fulfills them and makes them happy, not expecting them to be a one-trick pony.
So the one thing about the Roosevelt community is that although it's a large school, I think the staff overall really supports kids involved in multiple things, and we work together as a big unit in order to make kids like that successful. So although he may miss one rehearsal here, he is, still spending that time to get caught up and figuring out how to make that time that's lost in a rehearsal or a practice, and then moving forward from there without getting too lost in the wind there. And I think that's very common in smaller schools, but I don't see that a lot in bigger schools. So I think Roosevelt is a little unique in that way in saying that, yeah, be involved, do all of the things. It's okay, we will work together to figure it out to make you the most successful person possible.
Even with a community of support, it takes a special kind of kid to not only be involved in all of these activities and classes, but to be a leader across the board.
Brock exemplifies being a Roosevelt Rough Rider because he has a patience about his leadership. He has a patience to step back and wait to see how things play out without jumping in and asking all the premature questions. He knows that there is a big picture involved, and he has learned how to trust it, and then through that he role models that trust and loyalty.
So I think Brock is somebody that can reflect back. So he will take an action and then from there can kind of reflect as to whether or not it was the right move or maybe he could have done something better. And so I would love for students to observe something like that, see that he's always trying to make those improvements, and then from there figure out how they can implement that into their own practices and procedures, either in music or in anything else that they do in life.
All of this has led Brock toward a future everyone believes will be bright, and where he'll continue to teach, lead, and enjoy the journey.
Not sure on a college yet, but I know I'm kind of leaning towards physical therapy or athletic training, possibly orthopedic, like medical kind of stuff, or going into secondary education with mathematics or music.
No matter what he chooses to do, I see him teaching in some way, shape, or form because he has a natural leadership about him. So whether it's in music or something else, I see him always taking in information and finding a way to share it with other people.
He was a little undecided as to where he's going to go to college, and I have a little bit of influence, and I tried to get him to go to USD. So we'll see if he decides to go that route or maybe a little bit bigger of a state college outside of South Dakota. I think whatever he chooses to do and wherever he decides to go, he's going to just make a huge impact and have the most amount of fun, because if there's anything that Brock knows how to do, it's have fun in any situation he's in.
No matter where the future takes him, he's left a lasting impression here that won't be forgotten, and that will impact generations of Rough Riders to come.
While they make their talents in leadership look easy now as seniors. They have done the necessary and hard work to get where they are. They may make it look easy. It's not easy, but they've done it gracefully and humbly. They've put in the work and the effort, and now it's fun to honor them.
Brock is really a good human. He exemplifies the passion that is needed to be involved in all of these different activities. He is someone that comes with a positive personality every single time he shows up into a room. He can 100% light up that room no matter where he's at. Even on his darkest days, he still is a really strong, helpful, positive personality. And I really truly enjoy having him for a student. It made my transition here a lot easier to have students like him, especially in leadership roles.